So in this presentation, I would like to introduce the current status of our SD-WAN production in deployment. And also, I would like to discuss with you the future about SD-WAN, what we would like to achieve, which is a little bit beyond SD-WAN. So here, this slide shows a very general picture about the SD-WAN concept. I think many people here are already very familiar with what SD-WAN is, like cloud-based portal, application-based WAN handling, the zero-touch, and so on. And also, lots of agencies, they are expecting that SD-WAN market will grow in a dramatic pace. Like Gartner mentioned that 59% of CAGR through 2021, and the market will go through become 1.3 billion. So everybody is expecting SD-WAN a lot. So we can see some WAN transition after the appearance of SD-WAN. So the first of all is we see the traffic is gradually offload from MPLS to the internet. Customer is considering sending their critical traffic to the MPLS while sending non-critical traffic to the internet. And moreover, some of our customers is considering using only internet for some small branches like overseas subsidiary branches. The secondly is the cloud connection. When we talk about SD-WAN, many people will connect SD-WAN to cloud. And I understand that most of the vendors have already released the software-based SD-WAN appliances, which can be deployed in most of the public cloud service like Amazon, Azure, and so on. And also, local internet breakout is another strong feature that enabled by SD-WAN. So customers require a little bit more about the SaaS local breakout like Office 365, Box, and so on. Last but not least is the security issue regarding SD-WAN. So we understand that now more and more deployment like SD-WAN integrated with Zscaler, and moreover, this CASB service is now appearing that integrated with SD-WAN. So customers are looking about secure SD-WAN service. So here comes to our NTT communications lineup around SD-WAN. So first of all, the left bottom of this graph shows the cloud WAN. So which today my colleague Ichiro Fukuda made a keynote speech about around SD-WAN solution about cloud WAN. So this solution is totally online-based application and aiming at cost reduction by one-stop API provisioning. And also in the middle of this graph, we have the standard SD-WAN service. So we call it software-defined network WAN service. So this provides a kind of one-stop management with other service like our cloud service. And also we provide very rich and managed services to provide managed services. And last but not least, we also, because we are global tier 1 ISP, so we provide global scale delivery of the SD-WAN. So finally, it's the free design type of SD-WAN. So this is a kind of services that aiming at our big enterprise users. So we provide flexible design according to individual customer needs, and also we provide quite a large choices for major SD-WAN solutions to the enterprise users. So in this picture, I attached some screenshot of our portal of SD-WAN. You can see it's mainly dashboard-based, and also it is integrated with our billing system and inventory system, and also it has a very good monitoring for the whole network. So we are now moving from POC to the production deployment. So here this is a deployment example. So last year we did a POC with McLaren F1 racing team, and from this year on we move a little bit more, and we will provide SD-WAN services the whole season for McLaren team in their F1 race. So what actually we do here is that we provide an additional internet connections with the SD-WAN, so to help them to increase the bandwidth, and so that they can use the network in a very flexible way. So what is expressing is that they have lots of data sending from their track side to their headquarters to make the strategy decision during the Grand Prix. So it can be telemetry data of the car condition, IP camera data, and so on. So actually, there's something is critical, but some traffic is not critical. So the customer can flexibly handle this kind of traffic. So this is a deployment example that recently we did. And let's change the topic a little bit. So I understand that ONAC defined the top 10 requirements of SD-WAN. I think that's the original point of SD-WAN, where SD-WAN comes. But when we see the Japanese market, we see a little bit different requirements. Here, I listed some main requirements here, like segmentation, NAT support, PPPoE support, and so on. So I don't think today we have too much time to discuss all the details about these requirements. So I would like to pick 3 typical, and which I think is very interesting requirement here to discuss with you. It's the segmentation, high availability, and software compatibility. So first is the segmentation. So what it is? It's just a very simple idea like what network virtualization mentioned. So in most cases, the customer requires slicing inside their corporate network. Customer have lots of divisions, and in some cases, they have lots of group companies inside the company. And also, in Japan, there's a thread of NMA, of foreigner branches. They have to integrate the company they acquired into their original group. So that comes from this, these requirements. So when we think about segmentation, so there's something that we have to take care about. So for example, whether we can create L3 VPN slices, and also whether we can create L2 VPN slices. And sometimes the customer wants to do interconnection between the slices. For example, some group company wants to access the shared slices in their headquarters. So it requires some interconnections between the slices to the shared slice. Last but not least, it's multi-tenancy. Some large company, they want to do what exactly the ISP do. They want to be the ISP in their company and provide services to their group company. So it requires some kind of management privilege dedication to assign management privilege to their group companies and to their IT managers of the group company. So the next requirement here is the high availability. So the left picture shows our consideration in the initial phases when we consider high availability of SD-WAN. So you can see that I create the standby and active deployment of 2 CPE devices, and we will have hybrid one on each device. But soon we found that this is not a practical way, because on the WAN side we will have multiple uplink, and probably we will introduce new L2 switch in this case, so which will bring another single point of failure. And on the other side, so we have more WAN uplink, so which means we need more IP address, and the internet environment is PPPoE in Japan, so which means we have to create more PPPoE sessions. So it's not practical from the perspective of investment. So we come to the right parts. So the right part, we call it the cross connection with one link. So by cross connection between the CPs, the 2 CPCs can share the one link, and they can be configured as an act mode. So this is the basic idea. But on the LAN side, we can still use the existing protocol like VRP to do the relancing. But this is only on the LAN side. So when we take this approach, we have to think about some traffic flow. So like we are aiming at to do some semantic traffic flow in order to make the DPI signature working on each device. So the return traffic should come the exact same way as it comes out, and also on both WAN side and LAN side. So otherwise, the DPI will not work in this scenario. And last but not least is the backup compatibility. So most of customers in Japan is still conservative in this new technology. So they want to have a try, but they want to switch back to their existing network if they find any issue, if they are uncomfortable with SD-WAN. So the idea comes that we have to insert SD-WAN seamlessly to the existing network. So here comes to the requirement 1. So addition of SD-WAN devices without modification of any existing device, without adding new interfaces, without adding new subnet. So it's very challenging when we design such network. And also, the customer wants to send the traffic to their existing network, but run some experiment traffic to the SD-WAN. So this is also another challenge that we're facing with. And last but not least, on the MPLS side, SD-WAN will create IPsec channels even on the MPLS side. But customer do not want to break out anything on their existing network. So they want local breakout on the MPLS as well. So this comes to the requirement 3, the local breakout on the MPLS side, in order to do a transparent bypass of SD-WAN. So this is another interesting graph that which shows our find out recently. So this shows the difference between US market and Japan market. So in United States, we see lots of presentation here that people are expecting cost reduction by introducing SD-WAN. Because MPLS is very expensive in the United States. By applying SD-WAN, so people can reduce cost. But however, in Japan, this is not the case. So MPLS is not expensive when we consider about the license. So probably SD-WAN will be more expensive than MPLS. So from the carrier perspective, what we should do? I think we should focus more on value-added services instead of just keep costs down when we talk with customer. So what is value-added services? From the perspective of carrier, so we have very strong underlying infrastructure. As a tier 1 carrier, we have global cable system, we have global scale cloud service, and we have global scale MPLS service, and also we have global scale interdata network. So why not use such strengths, even if SD-WAN is the overlay technology? And also, why not combine with other existing services? We have a very good cloud services. Why not combine the cloud services with the existing SD-WAN services to make a one-stop provisioning of the service? And also, we have a very strong management service team, so we can provide 24/7 services to the customers. It's not only on the WAN side, but on the viewpoint of total ICT systems. Last but not least is the security. We have the security support and can be combined with SD-WAN. That's what we discussed at the beginning of this topic. So this picture shows a very general picture of the vision of our strategy on SD-WAN and the fee. So just like I said, we have a very strong backbone here. So we have Jin, which is our internet backbone, and we have Uno, which is our MPLS backbone. Why not use this kind of backbones for connecting the inter-region SD-WAN connection? So this is one point, utilizing the backbone network to maximize the inter-region connection. So the second point is the VN pool. So we are aiming at to deploy value-added services at the carrier edge, like firewall service, proxy service, WAN optimization service, and so on, at the carrier edge to provide value-added service to the customer. And also, similar, we're planning the universal CPE services at the current moment to deploy value-added services more close to the customer premises to load value-added service to the white box switches. I think most of carrier has the same vision here. But last but not the last thing is the Sas optimization. So when we talk about SD-WAN, so actually in Japan, people are request the Sas optimization more than hybrid WAN feature, actually. So people are expecting SD-WAN can improve their SaaS experiences. So how would we achieve that? I would like to, I cannot cover all the details about the details, but I will pick up two highlights to share with you our vision in the future. The first one is the global SD-WAN deployment, which is based on our backbone. So the idea is very simple, like what SD-WAN solution vendors that mentioned zero touch. But what is a bit different is that the zero touch, we do not create full mesh overlay tunnels between the branch. We do zero touch and create a tunnel to our POP, which is closest to the customer branches. And the other thing is that, I mentioned it's not a full mesh. It's kind of, partial hub-and-spoke topology here. So what I mean by partial hub-and-spoke is that we do full mesh inside one region. For example, US region, we do full mesh. So because it makes no sense to do the hub-and-spoke, which I think is very in a small region. But when we consider inter-region connection, we do a hub-and-spoke topology. So the traffic will first go to our hub first, then go through our backbone and go to another branch. So by utilizing our backbone network, we can really provide very high qualities to the customer, even if it's a long-distance communication between branch. So this is my last slide, which shows another interesting topic. It's the Sas Optimization Solution. So just like I mentioned, people are expecting more SaaS user experience improvement instead of hybrid WAN feature, actually, in the context of SD-WAN inside Japan market. So in this topic, we are aiming at improving SaaS access user experiences to the user. But how could we do that? Just take Office 365 as an example. So in most cases, Office 365 is internet-based solution. So just like the green arrow shows, so it will go to local ISP, then go to lots of ISPs because of the ISP peering. So sometimes people are very painful for the user experiences of Office 365. But why not use our management network? Understand our entity, just like I mentioned just now, we have a very good quality of backbone. And in addition, actually, SaaS provider, they also have a very good quality of backbone. So why not use that backbone? So this is the first point. The second point is that we have two backbone, and we also have the private connection that connecting these two backbone. Why not use these two connections to further improve the user experiences? This comes to the point 2. And the point 3 is the WAN optimization. So currently, there's no way to deploy WAN optimization inside SaaS. But we can apply WAN optimization to the data center, which is close to SaaS. Like, for example, take Office 365 as an example. We can deploy WAN optimization into Azure, which is close to Office 365. And also, we can deploy the WAN optimization in our POP, which can also be close to the Microsoft's SaaS data center. But last but not least is the path computation. You can see in this graph we have multiple paths exist that finally reach Office 365. The pure internet path, the path through our backbone, and path through the SaaS provider backbone. So we have several choices. So our idea is to do the dynamically monitoring of this path and choose the best path for the customer, because different regions will have different conditions in their network. So this will further improve the SaaS experiences of the user and provide value-added service to the customer in addition to the simple SD-WAN. So yeah, that's all from my side. I would like to answer any question if you guys have. Okay. Oh, no question. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.